Hey guys, welcome back. Today I wanted to do a video sort of for the people out there who are on the fence about getting a spinal cord stimulator, or if you're about to begin the process and you're sort of wondering what the whole thing entails, because it's not sort of a, let's say, you need your knee done, your knee replaced. It's not like, okay, you go to the doctor, you have an MRI, you schedule it, and da da da. This is super duper involved, and there's a lot of sort of time wasting and sort of just dead time that I know I found frustrating, because, like, for example, okay, so basically, my time frame for the spinal cord stimulator, I started the process in September, and I didn't get my permanent until February 27th. So just to give you an idea, like, it takes a while. So basically, it starts out with a conversation with your pain management doctor. Okay, we've tried everything. Do we think that a spinal cord stimulator is right for me? And if the answer is yes, then the next step is scheduling for a psych eval, because they want to make sure that, because you're having sort of a foreign object put in your body, that you can sort of mentally handle it. I know some people say their psych eval was 30 minutes. Some people said an hour. Some people said 2 hours. Mine was 6 hours, but that's because I had a traumatic brain injury in 2010, and so I needed to have a neuropsych eval done. And so that is incredibly involved and incredibly boring, but I guess a necessary evil. So you're gonna schedule that eval. I know for me personally, I called around, and the shortest wait that there was I think 2.5 months. So that really delayed things. I guess it was sort of all in God's plan, though, because after I had scheduled my psych eval for December, I think it was December 9th, I had scheduled that in October after 2 sympathetic nerve blocks had failed. It was shortly after that my CRPS spread, and that I spent, 10 days in the hospital and 3 weeks in a rehab, and then I was too weak to do anything. So basically, by the time I had my neuropsych eval, that was basically the first time I think I was in a car after being hospitalized and stuff. I was super weak and just in really bad shape, but got through that. And so the next step after you have that psych eval, as long as they deem you sane or whatever it may be, is you're going to schedule with a pain management doctor, your pain management doctor, for a trial. And the trial involves placing 1 or 2 leads, depending on the surgeon. They'll place either 1 or 2 leads in the location where they would then hope to place the permanent leads or paddles to see if this is going to provide you with relief. Mine was done in a hospital setting under twilight, so thankfully I had no recollection, even though they said that I was completely coherent throughout the whole thing. I don't remember a thing, which, wonderful. I don't want to remember any of these things. So you have that trial done, and you do, I forgot to mention, at that sort of pre-op appointment, you're going to choose what company you're going to go with for your spinal cord stimulator. I ended up going with Boston Scientific. They've been absolutely wonderful. There's other companies like Abbott, and I can't remember them all. But anyway, so the rep from that company actually came to my trial, because they bring all the equipment and all of their device stuff, so that when you're in the OR and they put the trial lead or leads into your spinal space, whatever, and they turn that thing on, they know how to test it. And you're going to need to say, yeah, I feel it here, or I feel it there. Once again, I don't remember saying a thing, which, yay. So that is done. You are sent home. Your back is all bandaged up. In my case, the battery sort of looked like a pager wrapped around my sort of waist. I'll post some pictures. But my trial was only, I think, 4 days. I think I got it in on a Thursday and got it out on a Monday. So in that trial, it's just basically to see, is this going to provide relief? For me, it was a bit different because I was in so much pain already, and the procedure itself, it does cause pain. You know, they're going into your spine. And so I had to sort of really focus on what am I doing now that I couldn't have done before I had this trial put in? And simply by virtue of the fact that I could sit up for more than 5 minutes at a time, or that I could sit in a car for the hour ride to the doctor's office and not cry, like, that showed me that this was going to be successful. I was not running up and down the block. I was not, some people say they walk out of their trial screaming hallelujah and, everything's all rosy and stuff. But, I had basically full body CRPS. So for me, just being able to smile was a good thing. And I honestly spent most of my trial on my back because I was hurting. But, I knew that it was going to work. So the trial... You go to your pain management doctor a few days after you get the trial in. They pull the trial out. They only leave it in for a couple of days because there's an infection risk whenever you have a foreign body sticking out of your person. So you then have a discussion, what percent relief did you have? And then the next step is scheduling that permanent placement. For me, I decided to go with a neurosurgeon. I would recommend going with a neurosurgeon because pain management doctors are not certified to do anything but leads. And there's a huge debate, but I personally believe that the paddle is a safer way to go. I got the Boston Scientific 32 contact paddle. It allows for more options for programming. It's also significantly more secure. They do have to do a laminectomy to place it on your spinal cord and secure it in place. But after that, the possibility of migration is very low. I've seen some pictures of people who have had leads migrate all the way down to their hip. It's not pretty. Not to scare anyone, but that's just what I've seen. So you go in and you have your permanent, you have your pre-op appointment with your neurosurgeon, and then you go in and you have your permanent. For me, I was put completely under. My neurosurgeon had a individual who her sole job the entire time was to monitor my spinal cord. She put I think 80 needles into my body to monitor all the nerves to ensure that they did not hit something wrong. And I woke up, and I'm not gonna lie, I was hurting a lot. And that first week, I was hurting a lot. Because not only was I having the surgical pain because they do the laminectomy, and then they have to feed the wires through your insides all the way down to your butt, basically, where they then connect those wires to your battery, whatever you want to call it, and then they make a pocket to put that into. And I got staples. It depends on the doctor. Some get glue, some get stitches, some get staples. And then you're told, especially the first 2 weeks, I spent a lot of that on some pretty heavy pain meds because it hurt. I could barely sit up for the first week. And then you slowly, I'd say by day 9 or so, you'll feel yourself sort of turning a corner. and there are going to be sort of setbacks in terms of, you may experience back spasms. I know I was on muscle relaxers for quite some time. And you're also one acronym that you are going to learn, forwards, backwards, inside out, is BLT, bend, lift, and twist. You are not allowed to do those things, either during the trial or, depending on the doctor, between 6 and 10 weeks after you have your permanent placed, because they don't want you to bend and have something pop out of place. It's hard, especially once you start feeling better, because you're like, oh, that's on the floor, I can pick it up. No. Don't do it. I promise. Don't do it. And so, but once the surgical healing is gone or has taken place, and if your spinal cord stimulator is a success, I know for me, it has taken care of probably, on a good day, 90% of my pain. I do have some aches and pains, and it did not cover my left foot. That's why I'm now going for a DRG to be placed below my spinal cord stimulator. So I'll have 2 batteries in me and 2 systems running in me, but whatever it takes, But I hope this sort of gives you a bit more of an idea of the whole process, because I know it's super confusing and super lengthy, and it can be hard. It's so important to have a good support system through this whole thing. I would highly recommend having someone with you, at least for that first week, because you're going to be pretty darn helpless. I could barely raise my arms without my back flipping out. So just, if you're having this, make sure that you have help lined up, and just prepare yourself. It will hopefully provide pain relief, but there's going to be pain inflicted or experienced in order for you to get that relief. So, but heck, I love my Boston Scientific Wave Rider. I love it. It's amazing. The reps from the company are amazing, and you want to go with a company with amazing reps. I know Abbott is making the DRG I'm getting, and I actually received a call from a rep today just answering any question I had. You want a company that has a good history. You want a company that is going to treat you right, and I wish you all the best in making your decision on whether or not to do this, and also on your sort of physical and mental journey through this thing, because it's tiring. It takes a toll, especially if you're someone like me. This was surgery 7 and 8 of the last 2 years, and the DRG will be surgeries 10 and 11 of the last 2.5. So I know what it feels like to be tired and to be hurting and to just want it to go away. But patience is a virtue, as they say. And so hang tight. Feel free to ask any questions. And yeah, I just wish you all the best. I think we all need a little relief, and I hope you get some. All right, thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you later.